Alright, here we have ranking event. A big job complete. Ace Watchmaker's victory toast. Joel debuts in Battlecraft. This is quite exciting. He's not a voiced character yet, but this character is quite incredible. In this video, I'm going to be going through how good he is, how many dupes you really need for him, and if you should be spending your gems, your stamina fish to get this character at least one copy. And then I'll be going through some teams that you can be using. Well, not a lot of teams. I mean, there's not a lot of characters that I have on this account, but I'm just going to kind of suggest what you should do based on whether you are a newer player or a in-game player. So Joel here, he has a new rank up item, the loop and wristwatch. So I mean, he's a support character, so ranking him up doesn't really matter because support characters' stats don't really matter. They're not going to attack. They are going to be hiding behind your other characters, your tanks, your fighters, your assault characters, your ranged characters. So they won't be taking any damage either, as long as your team is good. So ranking up Joel doesn't really matter. Don't worry about his loop and wristwatch, even though it will be quite rare. So Joel here, Ace Watchmaker, at level 100, he actually has quite a high HP, 7,400 for a support character. That's incredible. So he should be able to tank at least 2 hits before he dies. So if you are running a bit of a sketchy team and you do end up, your characters end up dying, Joel might be able to survive before you summon them back into the battle. So Joel, of course, attack is 0 stat. He has a fast movement speed and a very slow action speed. His toughness is very weak, which means that he takes knockback from essentially any type of enemy. And then he does have the support effect to freeze all opponents, which is quite impressive. Not a lot of characters do this in the game. Of course, I don't have him yet. It's going to take me a few days here. I'm only at 470,000 points. I need 1.5 million before I get my free copy of Joel. Now, in this event, I'm just going to cut straight to the point. You want to use as many offensive characters as possible. If you don't have a lot of good offensive characters, I'm not talking about ranged characters. Do not use ranged characters in this event, please. They are not strong enough. You need good assault characters, good fighter characters. If you don't have that, at least 4 of them, you'll have a basically impossible time when you try and beat the very hard difficulty. You need at least 4 decent offensive characters. If you have like 3 very strong characters and then a ranged character, sure, you can throw them on. I can't promise anything though. But Joel here, I think even without dupes, he's quite good. His freeze chance at max is going to be 10%. Having both freeze from the support effect and also from the skill, this is incredible. Now, just straight off the bat, if you have Matsukaze, the recent Matsukaze, he's a tank character, go for Joel. You need at least 1 copy because this guy is the only area attacking tank in the game, and he's going to be able to freeze all of your enemies thanks to Joel's skill 1. So yeah, having an area attacking tank alongside Joel is just too good. I mean, freeze chance 10%. I'm assuming how it's going to work is at base, Joel is going to be a 3% freeze chance. And then he's going to go up to 5% with 1 dupe, up to 7% with 3 dupes, up to 8% with another 3 dupes, and then the final 10% with 4 dupes. So unfortunately, we can't really see what Joel does with 0 duplicates. It's just not, you can't see it in the game, nowhere in the notices either. But I'm assuming it's going to be 20%, 2% for both the healing and also the freeze chance. And then every time you level up the skill, he's going to get an extra 2%, going up to a max of 10%. I don't think the HP chance will change. I think it's going to be 60% throughout, just based on what I've seen in the past with event characters, how their skill level ups work. 60% I think is set in stone. It's just going to be only 2% HP, 2% freeze chance. So I think this character without any dupes is only worth it if you have an area attacking tank. In other words, Matsukaze. There might be another one that I'm forgetting about, or that I just don't know about. But as far as I know, Matsukaze is the only area attacking tank. Freeze chance of only 2%. Yeah, it's not very good if you're only running a single target attacking a tank. Um, the HP as well, I mean, 60% chance for only 2% is quite weak. I mean, Chelsea, that's kind of on the same level as Chelsea. Chelsea's, I think, 1.8% chance. I mean, 1.8% HP by 100% chance. Of course, Joel's dupes are much easier to get. If you are able to get top 50 though, I think even if you don't have Matsukaze, this character can be incredibly helpful. It really depends on how slow his action speed is, because we have a lot of freeze type support characters in the game that increase their own action speed. A good example of this is the recent Christmas Senku, who returned in a ranking event. He increases his own action speed as a freeze character. Joel does not have that, so that's definitely something you want to consider. Even though he does also get that increased freeze ability from his skill 2, his main freeze support ability is going to be activating much more infrequently, so that kind of balances it out. If you already have a freeze character like this Senku with at least skill level 3, then I really don't think you need Joel. But if you don't have, then I think going for Joel is worth it. So at the end of the day, what should you do? If you don't have Matsukaze and you don't have any support characters that you currently have freeze chance, I think you should go for at least one copy of Joel. If you have Matsukaze and you don't have any freeze chance characters, try and get at least top 100 for Joel. I think he's worth it. If you have a freeze chance character like the Senku and you have Matsukaze, so in my situation, I think you should still go for Joel, at least one copy. If you don't have Matsukaze and you have a freeze chance character already, then Joel is not worth going for. I think it's very dependent on what you have. If you have already a freeze chance support character, and if you have Matsukaze, the tank Matsukaze. If you have, as I said before, if you have Matsukaze but you don't have a freeze chance character, 100% go for Joel. This is the most, like, if you in this scenario, you like in the group that should definitely go for Joel. If you have another freeze chance character, then I would still say Joel's worth it, but just not as much. If you don't have Matsukaze and you already have a support character that freezes, you shouldn't go for Joel. So it's a bit complicated, but that's what I would say as my final verdict. Joel is quite incredible. He's one of a kind, but without any dupes, he just doesn't do enough. He's too RNG based. 2% is just way too low. But anyways, let's get straight into the event itself. Currently, I'm top 20. But in the last 2 days, I'm going to fall out of that because of how people compete in the last 2 days. I don't have any more gems for stamina. No more stamina fish. So hopefully I can maintain top 50 because my team is pretty good. But we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully I can complete more story mode and get more gems for stamina, but we'll see. So this is what I'm running for the event. This team is safe with auto. A few characters here that I don't have maxed is Stanley. He's only rank 4. I don't have his sniper rank up item. I think it's the rifle and revolver. He's still really good. I think if you have a character like the recent Moz, you will be in for a very easy time. There's a lot of tanks in this event. If you can bring characters that make tanks weaker, as in you can reduce their defense, then it will make your life much easier. Yeah, I mean, this guy is just perfect. He's literally so perfect for this event. Like, I can't even put into words. If you don't have Stanley, Mars is the best replacement. You need at least one character who is a single target unit with a high attack stat, just to chip away at the tank type enemy. And then you also bring along a bunch of area attackers. The reason why I'm bringing along Bar and Poker Ryusui is because he increases attack against fighter type opponents by 33%. This is without any duplicates. This character is incredible. There's a lot of fighter type enemies in this event that will kill you very quick if you don't have a good tank. The reason why I'm not running any tanks is because we kill the enemy so quick that they don't have a chance to kill us. That's just how the team works. And that's how if you are trying to build an optimal team for this event, you should not bring along any tanks unless you have the new Kaseki. If you don't have any good offensive characters, or you have very few of them and they have low investment, then you should bring along some tanks. Your team will be much less optimal, but you will still be able to clear it. So let's just go into this event, see how it works. I still haven't beaten the 2-minute mission. It's incredibly difficult. You need to have like the best offensive characters. If you have the new Moz, he works so much better than Stanley, and you should be able to beat it under 2 minutes if you run the rest of this team. Tsukasa has a 50% attack increase, so he's just incredible for this. The reason they buffed him like that is because he will return as a bonus character here. The most powerful knight. This is season 4 Tsukasa, when he breaks into Zeno's main room and attacks him and kidnaps him. So this Tsukasa is incredible. He requires quite a lot of dupes to be good, but even with like no dupes in this event, he'll be incredible. So no matter what, if you have a great Tsukasa, anything but the standard pool Tsukasa, this guy's terrible. Do not run him. Even if he's boosted, he has incredibly low stats. Not going to be worth running. But if you have a actual Tsukasa, definitely run him. He will be incredible, having a lot of damage. So what I'm doing here is I'm running 3 area attackers and then 1 main single attack unit. Ryusui here is incredibly important. This is the standard pool Ryusui, but he's still probably the best of the pool. His leader skill is going to give us crit chance, which not only gives us much more damage, but also so many more points because you get a lot of score from hitting crits. Base crit rate in the game is 0%, so you need a character that will either, as a leader or from their skills, increase crit chance by at least 10%. So I also have Tsukasa here, who increases it by 5%, alongside Ryusui, gives us enough crits. And then Ryusui himself is also going to be a pretty decent support character, 5.6% healing every so often. And then he also increases ally attack by 10% and action speed by 5%. So incredibly important for increasing our offensive capabilities as a support character, while also giving us a decent amount of healing. And then this Blind Poker Ryusui also has pretty good healing alongside his ability to increase our damage against fighter type opponents. This Ryusui here, we're running a lot of Ryusuis, but he's a great area attacker. Probably one of the most important characters here because he does not only increase our assault type ally attack, which we're running 3 assault types, but he also has a very wide area of attack. He's the best. Like when they say area attack, they really mean it for Ryusui. He has the widest area attack range in the game. So even though a lot of the opponents hide behind the tank, Ryusui attacks all of them and he just cleans them off, especially thanks to the Blind Poker Ryusui increasing damage against fight type opponents. So this guy's incredibly important. I would say the most replaceable here is Hyoga actually. He's just a generic area attacker. Anyone can replace him. His attacks aren't remarkable. His action speed is slow. The main thing is that he's an area attacker. And he does work fairly well. So I'd say the most important characters here are going to be the leader Ryusui. We have Stanley to chip away at the tank type opponent. But really, that's only if you want a high speed comp. If you are running just to win, then you don't need Stanley. But I'd say Tsukasa is pretty essential. Ryusui is essential. The supports, yes, they're incredible and they're perfect for the team, but they can be replaced. And then if you don't have Yoga and your offensive capabilities are quite weak, just replace him with a tank. But let's just go straight into this. I'll show you guys what my team is. So I'm just going to put it on auto so you guys can see how it works. So of course, the priority for auto is lowest resource cost, left to right. So we have Tsukasa and Hyoga getting in there very quickly thanks to their low resource cost. Let me just decrease the volume so you guys can hear what I'm even saying. Then we have Stanley coming in. I think he's more important than Ryusui early on, so I make sure he gets in first. He has the same resource cost as Ryusui, but of course the CPU prioritizes left to right, so Stanley comes in first. And then we get the crit chance. We can kill Magma almost half his HP before Kinro even gets to us, so that just goes to show how quick this team works. Now, another reason why I think running no tanks is incredibly important for this event is that Joel freezes us quite frequently. But if the enemy knocks us back, then it cancels the freeze effect. So it definitely helps our damage, the fact that we don't have a tank. Of course, if you have a tank, they won't take knockback and they'll prevent the rest of your characters from taking knockback. So I think having a character, having no tank type characters is going to be important for your speed. So that one wasn't actually that great, 25 seconds and 2 minutes. Most of my runs are around about 15 seconds and 2 minutes. But this is essentially consistently what I'm getting from the score. For a long time when I started playing the game with these ranking events, the new ranking events, I was only getting about 2,200 score because I wasn't prioritizing crit times and I wasn't prioritizing clear time. If you do get to 2 minutes, this multiplier changes from 1.6 to 1.7, which is essentially a 10% increase, which is almost as good as having one of the new boosters, which gives you 15%. So yeah, you really don't need bonus characters. Without any of the new characters, your max score will be about 2,650. But if you don't have enough offensive capability to reach 2 minutes, your max score is 2,480. Of course, our units are quite powerful, so we reach the max damage of 10,000 very quickly, which is what you need for 200 score. 0 downtimes is important. And then we also have at least 10 crits for 100 score. We have a leader skill as well that activates frequently. You need at least 5 leader skill activations to get the max of 50. And of course, if you have items, then just use them for extra score, even if you don't need them. Of course, max difficulty, another 1,000. So that's about it for what I'm running. If you don't have a lot of offensive units, then you can replace someone like Hyoga, which is the most useless character on this team, with a decent tank. I don't know, Matsukaze. Even a character like Cross-Dressing Gen, Von Poker Francois, Leaders of the Kingdom of Science Taiju. Any of these guys work, just don't use a standard pull tank. These guys are incredibly weak. They are not going to work. They will die instantly, even if you have them completely maxed rank 5, level 100. If you don't have this Ryusui, you can just run someone. If you aren't running full offensive capabilities, the best support characters for you to use are going to be, I would say, Ruri and Senku. Then we run Matsukaze as a leader because he does increase our tank type ally defense. This is theoretically what you could do. The reason why I'd rather run Ruri than Yuzuriya is that our opponents are incredibly high attack in this event. So debuffing the attack by 21% is incredible. She's not a terrible healer either. And then we have Senku there to give us crit chance of 20%. You need at least one character to give you crit chance, as I said before. So if you are running Ruri and Senku, just make sure that you go to their skill and max this up, because you do get their duplicates for free from clearing a very early story mode. So run those two guys. They're going to help you the most, alongside 3 offensive characters and then a decent tank. Now I'm actually going to try and test this to see how it works. It might not be a very quick clear, but it should be able to work. So let's see how this goes. So we're going to get Matsukaze in there earlier. and he will block the enemy from progressing. Since he is a tank, he has anti-KB, anti-knockback. So I'm expecting this to be like a 3-minute, 15-second run or something very long like that. But I mean, Tsukasa, his attack, I think at base is 5,000. So with this event, he goes up to like 6,000 or 6,500. Very, very good with his action speed. But as you can see, even Matsukaze is struggling. This is an incredibly difficult event. Matsukaze is dead, but that's alright. We'll still kill the enemy. They don't do enough damage. We kill most of them. Matsukaze will come back in now. Stanley will take some hits. We're going to get quite a bit of downtimes because we might lose some of our characters. I don't think we'll lose the entire quest, but we will definitely lose some of our allies. As you can see, Magma is still alive. Okay, so then we'll have Matsukaze coming back in. Our support characters will not die yet. Or at least, no, they will. As you see, the issue is Magma. If you can kill Magma quick, then the enemy will not deal much damage anymore. Magma is the biggest damage dealer in this entire ranking event, which is why we're running so many characters on my main team to kill him ASAP. Yeah, you can have a very tough time without Barn Poker Risui. I mean, that 50% or 33% increase to Magma is just so crucial. But that is pretty good. I mean, 2,240 without any of the new characters, without any of these incredible support characters. As I said, I was actually expecting 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so we beat my expectations by 1 second. Regardless, this is still a very rough run, and there are definitely going to be times where we lose. I think it'll definitely happen sometimes. Maybe not, because Matsukaze is a reliable tank, but just goes to show, if you're running a tank that's like leader of the Kingdom of Science Taiju, he's way worse than Matsukaze. So yeah, if you run him, you'll probably lose. So yeah, it's a very tough event. Some characters that will just really help you though is gonna be the Knight of the Kingdom of Science, which is the Tsukasa that's boosted, the Maz from last month. The Kohaku from last month is also pretty good. So if you have any of these characters, you have new Kaseki. The new Chelsea as well is great for offensive. So if you have any of these characters, it'll definitely make your time easier. But I don't have any of them, so it is what it is for me. But that's just kind of what I think. If you are someone who's late game, you have a lot of offensive units, then definitely run 4 offensive characters and then 2 support units. If you don't have that, run maybe even 2 tanks, and then run Senku and 3 offensive units. 2 area attackers, 1 single target attacker. Whatever you have, just make do. If you can't beat the highest difficulty, play the middle difficulty. If you can't beat even the middle difficulty consistently, then just don't play the event. You'll waste your stamina, your gems, your stamina fish. Not worth your time. Joel's great, but I wouldn't say he's worth all that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe. Peace, and I'm out.